I teach my students to relate to music as the music, not my music. Please.
Yes. Yes.
You don't own music.
Yes.
You know, music, when it comes to music, it's a one-way love affair. You have to dedicate yourself to it.
That's right.
Now, I'll say this. When it comes to all the instruments that I played prior in my life, when I played the D string on the bass, that's when I realized music had chosen me.
Yes.
I didn't choose music. Music chose me.
Yes.
And from that point, I became extremely obedient.
Yes.
But there was this amazing amount of culture shock. Because at age 24, with a family, I'm a professional musician already. I was going, wow, how does that happen?
Well, I think a similar thing might have happened to me when I met you, which is that there's some kind of fuse is lit, or there's something that happens within a person, and I think it can open a channel that wasn't open before. And it's really a question of, I think, seeing your own potential. And you were so important to me because you were really the first person who I felt could help me see my own potential. And that's got nothing to do with the music or what instrument. It's really about seeing a person. And that's such a wonderful thing that you bring to your students, looking at the whole person.
Well, I think it's reciprocal because I spend my time wanting to know what my students know. Because they know a lot of things that I don't know. And I think that's one of the prerequisites for being a good teacher.
Yes.
Is to be open to the knowledge of your students because they're born with a lot of information. And so I think it's most important to be cognizant of how you can just be a part of the music.
Yes.
Rather than teacher student, it's the music. So when you think that way, then we all make this journey. We have this journey we take together, which I really enjoy.
Yes.
It's a journey. I don't want to think about the destination.
Yes. Yes.
Let's think technically about
Yes.
these instruments we play.
Yes.
You play the violin. I play the bass. Neither of those instruments are in the range of the human voice, basically. It's the cello. The cello is in the range of the human voice. Now, when you close strings down, rather than playing open strings, which is very related to piano, which is fixed, once you play that open string, there's nothing you can do.
It's out there.
It's out there.
Yes.
But if you close that string down, you can adjust in subtle ways to become more unified with the overall intonation of all the musicians you're playing with.
Yes.
Because it's called for compromise.
Yes, compromise.
See, jazz is built on total creativity. Once the melody is played, then it's all about what you feel, how you feel about it. And you see, I don't care what music form you're playing. I think the most important element is time. Playing in time.
Yes.
Playing, time is it.
Yes.
If it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't go in your body, as Miles would say, what value does it have to you? I mean, the value of a music form to you may be totally different to me, you know. And, you know, I can remember musicians that I've asked questions like, hey, man, what are you working on? And I'll get a reply, hey, man, I'm working on my time. I said, ooh. And, you know, I'll get flashbacks. And the flashbacks that I'll get is playing in the marching band because I played drums.
Yes.
But, you know, if you're marching and playing drums, you're working on your time.
Sure.
Because your
whole body.
Your whole body's in it.
Yeah. Yes.
So
Yeah,
there it
that's
is. You know,
beautiful.
yeah.
That's one reason I love playing for swing dancers, when they're, or any kind of dancers, when there are dancers there reacting to the music, we're there together. I think that's such a sacred, beautiful, unspoken bond.
Yeah. Another word I really like that Arthur Ashe talked about as a tennis player, the zone, being in that zone.
Yes, I remember you always talked to us about that.
Being in that zone.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not particularly crazy about the word jazz, but it does have 2 Z's.
Mm-hmm. Meaning what?
Zone.
Uh-huh. I see. Yes, I see what you're saying.
And I'll take the A and say, okay, A440, A444, you know?
Uh-huh.
And I'll take the J and say, well, maybe it's not jazz, maybe it's joy.
Yes. Yes, there are many J words that can apply.
Yes. Yeah, that's, you know, to me, that's, yeah, being a conduit. It's just like, you know, for me, when the bass came into my life, I played the D string.
Yes.
That to me is vitamin D. That's enlightenment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know, that a D, you know, is bright.
Yeah, strong.
Strong.
Like a big tree.
Yes.
Mighty oak.
Yeah, a mighty oak. And it's music that I've written. It's entitled Mighty Oak. But the conduit is selflessness.
Yes.
It's the prerequisite for it. That first note is the one that goes inside the body of a person. And if you can capture that person on the first note, then your journey can be so pleasant.
Yeah, you've got them.
You've got them.
Yeah. It's very important to make sure that you've got them.
The unspoken word can be so powerful. Mm-hmm. And if you sit in one place, you know, where there's not exactly chaos, but I wanted their attention. And the only way I could get it was to exhibit it. So I was very quiet and brought everybody to this quietness so that I could speak my first word. The same way I want to play my first note in music. And of course, the note that's really important is the last note.
Stefan Grappelli, the great jazz violinist, talked about that as well. He said, to paraphrase, worry about the beginning and the end, the middle will take care of itself. Yes.
I learned that as a teenager.
Yeah.
In my church choir.
But it's easier said than done.
Easier said than done.
Yeah.
It takes a focus.
It does.
It takes a focus. It takes a practice. I lay in bed sometimes thinking about the class that I'm going to teach that day or whatever.
Yes.
And I have a way that I want to start with the express purpose of opening the candy store so that the students can go in and choose and pick and choose the flavors that they want.
Yeah.
You know, so I act as a coach more or less than just a teacher. As a coach, because I want to take the journey with these guys. You know, and I try to make sure that they give a lot of thought.
Yes.
To what they're doing musically. And I talk a lot about subject matter.
Yes.
What are you going to play about? What story are you going to tell?
Yeah.
Are you just going to play a lot of notes, or are you going to tell a story?
Yeah. Story is so important, and I so appreciate how much freedom you gave us. Freedom and responsibility, really, equal parts of both. You know, the responsibility to study and to take care of our instruments and to, you know, learn the history and to respect those who really are a bridge to the past for us, you know, a crucial bridge to the past, all of that stuff. But also the freedom to play in our own styles and, you know, I feel like that was such an important influence on me. When I coach others, I also try to give them that same balance of freedom and responsibility, and
And when you go back to classical music, you know, the one person that I think about is Bach. Because, Bach to me is jazz.
Sure, sure.
He's
well,
strung.
Many people have made a musical kind of contrapuntal connection between Charlie Parker and Bach.
Yeah.
Using a slightly different style of tones.
Yeah.
But really the same kind of idea.
Same idea.
Yeah, very powerful stuff. Yes.
Yeah, it's we could probably go on for at least the next century or so.
Easily.
Yeah. And still never really cover it all.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. It's just a snapshot really today, but Marshall, I have to tell you how much I love you, and I'm so grateful to you, and every day I think of you and try to make you proud with the way that I play and everything I'm doing. So I'm just so grateful to talk with you today, as always.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It's this is an epic moment.
It is. And this room is I'm so glad this room is still here. It's exactly how I remember it. And yes, who knows what's next?
Well, I don't. And that's the fun.
Yes.
I like surprises. At 85, I'm in my second childhood, so I'm sillier now than ever.
Okay, good. Okay, well, I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, there we go. The piano had something to say. Okay.